Welcome back, everyone. This is Money and You, with a series focused on building money-smart youth for a stronger India. And we're really glad you're tuning in. We're supported by the Life Skill Foundation. Our mission, well, it's pretty simple. You want to make sure that you, whether you're listening from a Nashik, Patna, or any smaller city or town in India, that you get the knowledge you need to really take charge of your financial future. Last time, remember, we talked about emotions and habits. Who's really in control of your money? Today, we're getting into something super common, maybe a bit sneaky. It's needs, wants, and the temptation trap. You know how it goes, right? You make this awesome plan on Monday. Maybe you even start saving a little bit. And then, bam, Wednesday comes. You see a flash sale online or your friends are going out. And suddenly that discipline, it just kind of disappears. It really does happen to all of us.
Oh, absolutely. It happens everywhere, not just here. But, the starting point for managing money well, the foundation, it really comes down to knowing the difference, understanding what you absolutely need for living and working, and what's just, something you desire.
Okay, let's break that down. A need. How do we put that simply?
A need is something you just can't do without. It's essential for your survival, your health, your safety, and importantly, your ability to study or earn. Basically, if you take it away, your life or your work immediately gets much harder, right?
Got it. So essentials, like food, obviously.
Yeah.
Rent, if you're paying it.
Yeah.
Electricity bills, basic clothes, transport to get to college or your job.
Yeah.
What about things like basic health care?
Definitely a need. And you mentioned transport. That's key. Even maybe basic internet access these days.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Especially for students, right? If your classes are online or you need it for research, reliable internet feels like a need now.
That's a really good point. It shows how needs can change over time. Think about a mobile phone maybe 10 years ago, a luxury. Today, for many, it's essential for payments, communication, even studies.
Right. But then things get a bit blurry. We move into wants.
Exactly. Wants are the upgrades. They make life nicer, more comfortable, maybe give you a bit of status or just simple enjoyment. But here's the key. You could survive, you could still function without them. They're optional. We're not saying wants are bad, mind you.
Okay, examples help. Like wanting those really cool branded sneakers when your current ones are perfectly fine for walking.
That's a classic one. Or maybe you have a phone that works okay, calls, messages, basic internet, but you want the latest model because the camera is slightly better.
Or maybe upgrading your Netflix plan to the premium one with 4 screens when it's just you watching.
Precisely. These are comforts, not necessities. And this brings us to a really core idea from the Life Skill Foundation. Before you spend a significant chunk of money, and significant could be just 500 rupees, maybe even less depending on your situation, just pause. Ask yourself the simple question. Is this a need, a want, or is it just temptation?
That pause.
That pause, that moment of reflection, that's where financial wisdom really begins.
But sometimes that pause just doesn't happen, does it? Temptation is clever. It disguises itself. Which actually brings us perfectly to the story of Priya. Let's talk about her. Okay, so Priya is 20. She's a BCom student living in Nashik. And she's started earning some money on the side doing freelance graphic design, which is brilliant, right?
Absolutely fantastic. Real initiative.
And she had a clear goal. She was saving up for a new laptop, a really powerful one. For her, this laptop wasn't just a want, it was a need. Her old one was too slow, couldn't handle the software she needed for bigger client projects. So the laptop meant growing her income.
Okay, so a very clear link. Financial goal tied directly to a career need. That should make saving easier, you'd think.
You would think. She had the goal, she was saving, but then the temptation trap sprung. She was just scrolling through social media one afternoon, you know how it is, and she sees this influencer reviewing this gorgeous, sleek, super fast smartphone. Looked amazing. And of course the magic words, limited time sale.
Ah, the classic trigger. Scarcity and a discount.
Exactly. Now, Priya's old phone, it works fine. Calls, WhatsApp, basic stuff, no problem. But she started that internal conversation, that justification process. She told herself, wow, this new phone has an incredible camera, high resolution. I could take much better pictures of my graphic design work for my Instagram portfolio. See? It's not really a want. It's an investment in my marketing.
Oh, that's clever justification. It sounds productive, doesn't it? It feels related to her work.
Totally. It felt like a smart move. So what did she do? She took all the money she'd carefully saved for the professional laptop and spent it on this trendy new phone.
Oh, dear. And the outcome?
Well, a month later, she had a phone with a great camera, sure, but she was still stuck with her old, slow laptop. She couldn't take on those bigger, better-paying clients. Her freelance income didn't grow. The phone gave her maybe slightly nicer Instagram posts, but zero actual business benefit. The laptop, The need was still out of reach.
That story is just, it's so relatable, especially today with social media constantly showing us things we should have. And it's really important for everyone listening to understand this isn't about Priya being weak or lacking willpower. It's not a moral failing. There's actually some brain science behind why temptation feels so powerful.
Okay, tell us more about that. Why does that impulse buy feel so much stronger than the, sensible savings plan?
Well, when you make that impulsive purchase, when you hit buy now or hand over the cash for something exciting, your brain gives you an instant reward. It releases a chemical called dopamine. You've probably heard of it.
Yeah, the feel-good chemical, right?
Exactly. It gives you this rush, this immediate hit of pleasure and satisfaction. It feels good. And that immediate pleasure, that quick dopamine hit, it often feels much stronger, much more real than the abstract idea of saving for something in the future.
So the future goal, like Priya's laptop, feels distant. But the phone is right there, giving instant happiness.
Precisely. But here's the catch. That dopamine high, it fades really fast, sometimes just minutes or hours later. But the consequences, like Priya not having her laptop or the dent in your savings account, those stick around for much, much longer. They impact your actual life.
Wow. So understanding that helps put things in perspective. It's not just about money, it's about managing those impulses, which connects back to what the Life Skill Foundation emphasizes, right? Building emotional strength alongside financial smarts.
Absolutely. We call it emotional literacy. It's about recognizing those feelings, the excitement of the impulse, the desire, and then consciously choosing the action that aligns with your long-term goals, not just the short-term buzz. It builds resilience.
Okay, this is making so much sense. We know the why now, the dopamine trap, the temptation disguised as a need, like with Priya. So we need a plan. We can't just hope for willpower to show up. You mentioned practical steps.
Yes, let's get practical. Willpower is good, but systems are better. We have 5 concrete steps you can take.
All right, let's break them down. How can a young person, maybe earning their first salary or juggling freelance income, actually do these things? Step 1.
Step 1 is arguably the most powerful weapon against impulse buys, the 30-day rule.
The 30-day rule. Okay, how does it work?
It's very simple. If you feel a strong urge to buy something that isn't an absolute immediate need, just wait. Put it on a list, make a note, whatever, but wait 30 days before you actually buy it.
30 days. Why that long?
Because research and just common experience shows that most impulsive desires fade significantly within a couple of weeks. That initial excitement wears off. If, after 30 days, you still genuinely want that item and have thought about how it fits your life and budget, then okay, maybe it's a considered want. You can plan for it.
So if Priya had used the 30-day rule for that phone,
she likely would have realized by day 15 or 20 that the slightly better camera wasn't worth delaying the laptop that could actually boost her income. The urgency would have gone.
that's powerful. Okay, step 2. This one often feels tough for new earners.
It can be, but it's crucial. Make a monthly budget and be specific. You need to track where your money is actually going. Categorize every expense, needs, wants, and savings.
Needs, wants, savings. Yeah. Clear categories. Is there a guideline for how much should go into each?
Yes, a very useful starting point is the 50-30-20 rule.
50-30-20. Okay, what does that mean?
It means, ideally, you aim to allocate about 50% of your income towards your needs. Rent, food, transport, bills. Then around 30% can be allocated for wants, things like eating out, entertainment, hobbies, that fun stuff. And really importantly, a non-negotiable 20% should go towards savings or paying off any debt you might have.
Okay, 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. But hang on. For some young people, maybe in a Tier 2 city, maybe helping family, 50% for needs might feel really tight, or income is variable.
That's a very important point. The 50-30-20 is a guide, not a strict law. It's a target to aim for. If your essential needs currently take up 60% of your income because maybe rent is high or you have education costs, that's reality. But then you have to adjust accordingly. It means your wants budget needs to shrink, maybe down to 20% or even 10%. The critical part is the savings percentage, that 20%. Try your absolute best to protect that. Even if the amount is small some months, the discipline of saving something regularly is what builds the habit.
Got it. Flexibility, but prioritize saving. That makes sense. What's step number 3?
Step 3 is about managing your environment. Limit your exposure.
Limit exposure, like to temptation.
Exactly. You know the saying, out of sight, out of mind. It really works for spending, too.
So what does that look like practically in our digital world?
It means taking active steps to clean up your digital triggers. Unsubscribe from all those promotional emails that flood your inbox. Turn off notifications from shopping apps on your phone. Maybe even unfollow social media accounts or influencers who are constantly pushing you to buy, buy, buy.
Oh, that's smart. If you don't see the flash sale notification, you're less likely to click on it impulsively.
Precisely. You're removing the constant bombardment of temptation. It saves mental energy, and it definitely saves money.
Okay, love that. Step 4.
Step 4 brings us back to goals. Set meaningful savings goals.
Meaningful. As opposed to just saving money.
Yes. Saving money for the future is vague. It's hard to get excited about, hard to defend against temptation. But saving for Priya's professional laptop, or down payment for a course, or emergency fund for peace of mind, those are specific, tangible goals.
So giving your savings a job makes it feel more real.
Absolutely. When you have a strong, clear goal, resisting that small, impulsive want today becomes easier. You're not just denying yourself, you're actively choosing your bigger goal instead. You're trading a small, fleeting pleasure for something significant and lasting.
That's a great mindset shift. Okay, last one. Step 5.
Step 5 is about balance. Reward yourself smartly.
Ooh, I like the sound of that, so we can have fun.
Of course. This isn't about deprivation. Life should be enjoyed. But the key is that treats and rewards should be planned, not impulsive.
Planned, not impulsive. How does that work with the budget?
Remember that 30%, or whatever you adjust it to, for wants in your budget. That's where your planned treats come from. If you want to go out for a nice meal or buy something fun, budget for it within your wants category. When you buy it, it's not an impulse. It's a conscious choice you made room for. You're proving you're in control. You decided, not the fleeting temptation. That's balanced living.
Right. You earned it, you planned it, you enjoyed it guilt-free because it fit the plan.
Exactly. That's the difference between controlled enjoyment and impulsive regret.
These 5 steps feel really actionable. 30-day rule, budget, 50-30-20 as a guide, limit exposure, meaningful goals, and planned rewards. Now, stepping back a bit, why is this specific skill-telling needs from wants, managing temptation, why is it so fundamentally important right now for our listeners, for the youth in India's Tier 2, 3, and 4 cities?
It's absolutely crucial because you, the young people listening, you are genuinely the engine of India's economic future. You're where the growth is happening, where the potential is enormous. And mastering this basic financial literacy, this needs versus wants distinction, it does something profound. It gives you decision-making power.
Decision-making power. Tell me more about that.
When you make mindful choices about your money, even small amounts, you're building confidence. You're building independence. You're taking control not just of your budget, but of your life's direction. Think about it. Understanding this helps you avoid falling into debt traps early on, which can sadly derail a young person's career before it even takes off.
That's a huge point, avoiding early debt.
And beyond avoiding negatives, there are positives. When you manage your money well, you can participate more fully and responsibly in your local economy. You might support local businesses with your planned spending. And when you start saving, even tiny amounts, maybe in a small recurring deposit at the bank or exploring a systematic investment plan, a SIP, you're not just saving, you're learning financial discipline. You're becoming a participant in the country's financial growth story.
So it's bigger than just one person's bank balance.
Much bigger. Imagine millions of young people across Tier 2, 3, 4 cities making informed financial choices, saving consistently, maybe starting small investments. That builds financial stability for individuals and families. It strengthens communities. It drives sustainable, inclusive economic growth from the ground up. It's about grassroots financial inclusion and empowerment.
Wow. That really connects the dots between a small daily choice and the bigger picture for India. Okay, before we wrap up, let's quickly tackle a couple of common questions we always seem to get around this topic. First one, should I feel guilty about spending money on wants?
That's a great question. And the short answer is no. Please don't feel guilty. Guilt isn't productive.
Right. Life's meant to be enjoyed too.
Absolutely. The goal isn't austerity. It's balance and intention. If you spent money on a want instead of guilt, ask yourself, was this planned? Did it fit into my wants budget, that 30% or adjusted figure? Yes, great, enjoy it. If no, okay, acknowledge it was an impulse, learn from it, and adjust your spending for the next month. No need to beat yourself up, just course correct.
Good advice. Don't dwell, just adjust.
Ugh.
Okay, second common question. What's really the difference between smart spending and overspending?
Smart spending is purposeful. It aligns with your values and your long-term goals. Maybe you spend a bit more on a high-quality item that will last for years, like good shoes for work or an online course to build skills. That can be smart. Overspending is usually driven by emotion. It's often impulsive, aimed at getting that quick dopamine hit we talked about. It doesn't usually align with your goals and often leaves you feeling regretful later, that classic buyer's remorse.
So, smart spending serves your future self, while overspending often serves a fleeting feeling in the moment.
Well put. Exactly.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, the line between a genuine want and the sneaky temptation can feel thin sometimes. But learning to pause, to ask yourself need, want, or temptation, it gives you real control. It puts you in the driver's seat of your financial story. Ultimately, how you use your money reflects what you truly value, your goals, your growth, your future. So next time that temptation calls your name, that flash sale, that cool new gadget, I really want you to try it. Pause, take a breath, and ask yourself honestly, is buying this helping me move towards my goals, or is it actually holding me back? Take charge. You absolutely can shape your financial future. Every small, mindful choice you make today adds up. It really counts. And hey, don't forget, we put together a study guide for this discussion. It summarizes the key points, those 5 steps, the 50-30-20 rule. You can download it. The link is in the description below. Also, do check out the description for links to some useful financial products and resources that might help you on your journey. And remember, if you need more specific guidance or have questions, you can reach out to the Life Skill Foundation through Lincoln. The link is there too.
Make sure you subscribe to Money and Use so you don't miss our next chat. Next time, we're going to explore something really fascinating, your money story. We'll dig into how your family, your culture, even things you learned as a kid shape how you think and feel about money today. It's going to be insightful. Finally, just the usual important reminder, this conversation is for educational and informational purposes only. Everyone's financial situation is unique, so please always consult with a verified, qualified financial expert for advice tailored specifically to you. Thanks so much for joining us and learning with us today on Money and You. We'll catch you next time.